Like, are you familiar with it, with the adventure? Anyone played it or something like that? It's fine if you did. Only Morten. Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
did.
ran it as a DM.
Awesome.
Oh, wow.
Awesome. So, um,
So don't worry, I know where all the secret treasure is hidden.
Oh,
I'll
great.
find everything.
To all
so
be mimics.
exactly everything. So don't worry. While I run a lot of those kind of pre-published campaigns, I do change them a lot. And I'm not talking about just kind of the monsters, etc., but also the kind of the story, because I really try to lean on the backgrounds that you provided, and I really try to take the campaigns toward your kind of story and less toward what's written in the book. So that's what I try to do. It doesn't always work, but I think we'll make it happen in this campaign, specifically because I got most of your backgrounds and most of them look like good. I haven't had the chance to kind of deep dive into all of those, but you can be pretty confident that things that you wrote will pop up during the campaign. So that's one thing. I did want to review a couple of things that I think are important to run this game successfully. The first one is about the rules. Emiliano and Morten will tell you I'm not a rules lawyer. I don't have all of the rules in my head. I do kind of understand what's going on, but I really trust you to operate your characters, to know exactly what you can and cannot do. I might ask questions, or will, or probably offline, to not disturb kind of the flow of the game, but I really trust you to kind of understand how things work. Usually what happens is that the group kind of, rules wise, we kind of figure it out together if we have some sort of a situation in which we need the books. I try not to pull them during the game. As a result, you can roll using real dice on your table. Okay, you don't have to roll them on Roll20 or on D&D Beyond. If you do, that's fine, that's great, but I'm not looking at the screens. So feel free to roll on your table, and I completely trust you to kind of, well, we'll notice if someone rolls 15 20s one after the other, right? I mean, we'll get that. So that's about.
I have my lotus dice ready to
Yeah.
roll once.
Exactly. This is usually what happens. So that with regards to the rules, any questions or comments about that? Does this make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and one thing you didn't mention is you don't normally run the dungeons as they are written.
Yeah.
You tend to hand wave it like, there's a dungeon, you walk down the hallway, there's a room, that was the dungeon.
We'll
Not
see.
maps and everything.
No maps. It's all theater of the mind. Also, I'm less of a tactical. Like, we won't count, feats, and I usually forget about opportunity attacks. But again, if this is something that you care about, you will make it happen in the game, and we'll figure it out and make it happen.
And wizards don't expect to hide behind the tank. You'll always attack the wizard in their back.
Yeah, of course, because we don't have a map. So
Yes, he cheats.
we
Like all good DM cheats to make the game more fun and interesting.
that's the purpose, right? So you mentioned fun. I think it's a good point to kind of quickly discuss. This is a team effort. So we are all here together to make everything fun. So I really welcome offline discussions between the players, the DM. Like, feel free to post in the channel, whatever makes you most happy. And also feel free to kind of provide feedback if you want to. After the game, one-on-one, send me a note if something works for you really well or doesn't work for you. That's fine to kind of give me a note, and I'll try to figure things up with you. We'll need 3 players to play. Okay, if one drops, that's fine. As long as we have 3 players, we can have a game. And last thing, at least from my part, again, it's your story. Okay, so if you have worked on your background and you put in all kinds of nuggets there, like it will pop up. So feel free during play, in play, when you have the time, to kind of bring out those stories, right? If you keep them on your pages, the other players will not know that a scene or something that happens is somehow related to your character, and might kind of either pull back or do something really unexpected. Maybe that's what you want, and it's fine. But feel free to slowly discuss your characters among yourselves. It really will help the story take the direction that you want. Any other questions about the game, about rules, about setup?
Not really. I would be interested if there are no-go areas, like when I cast an illusion spell and make some spiders. Anybody who has arachnophobia or something like that. So I won't in that case. Other than that, I'm just curious how the story will unfold.
Awesome.
I have a question for the guys too as well.
Yeah.
Are you all interested in exchanging backgrounds? Like I see my character sheet, I can see everybody else's character sheets, but I can't see their backgrounds. If you want to like, maybe you can keep it secret, but if you want to tell each other about their backgrounds, I also always make my characters with beliefs, instincts, and traits. So, and that really is how I guide how I play my characters usually. So I could, if you want to exchange that stuff, it's maybe set up like scenes. I always like doing that. So if you like, just send me your background.
I like
I'd
to make
expect-
it come out and play.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we could get some suggestions to nudge
Alright.
in the interesting direction.
Yeah, I think if we can make it out, come out and play, it would work best.
Would that be
Otherwise, we
okay for
might
you,
share it
Ryan?
like later.
I mean, Emmy, would that be okay for you? If
Yeah,
we
no,
make
I
it come
mean,
out in during the gameplay?
improvising it on the fly, I mean, it's really magical when it does. It happens.
So let's try to do some magic. We're
Alright.
wizards after all.
That's right. We gotta start practicing.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
we're a group of casters. Like we can all cast spells.
Yes, no kidding.
Like-
Awesome.
I can't yet. Give me a level.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah,
Soon.
give us a level or two.
Yeah.
Paladins only have
Oh,
one spell, right?
that reminds me.
Right.
I assume you're doing milestones for XP
Yeah.
leveling. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes it easier for me. I'm lazy in that sense.
Yeah, I like doing it that way too. Used to always be like XP after every combat because my player enjoyed that, but after a while it just hand wavy. Yeah, you get some XP here and there.
Right.
Maybe if I remember. If you've been nice to me.
Exactly. We try to avoid this. Like if you're nice, you get extra. No, I'm joking. Anything else you want to bring up before we start this? You want to go? You know what? We'll do that kind of in play, the character intro. Anything that you don't like hard, don't like in games, anything that kind of is a taboo or something you don't. Not that this will be a that sort of a game. It's usually PG-13 in my tables, but
Okay.
anything that it's
Good enough.
good enough.
For me, it's good enough.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have arachnophobia. Or other phobias.
Yeah, PG-13 is more than good. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I try to keep it that way because usually when I upload stuff to YouTube, this is what I declare, and then kids can see it without any issue. And in my tables, like my real groups, that's maybe even like different, but usually my games are not that dark, and this one shouldn't be either. It's not that type of a campaign, but we'll see where your character backgrounds will take us, right? I mean, I've read some of them. Really interesting.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
I do like having something dark in my background.
Yeah.
And enjoying the darkness in my characters. I really enjoyed playing the monk in our last campaign who lost his soul. and became a complete psychopath.
That's right. Yeah.
He was fun to play.
Backflipping
Well,
psychopath.
fun to play.
We'll see.
I
We'll
wouldn't
see.
even dream of anything dark.
Yeah, we'll see what this group comes with. Okay, okay. So let's do this. Let's start something. We'll see how long. Like, do you have any? Like an hour is fine for you. Yeah, we can. Awesome. Okay, so we'll see where this takes us. But this is a prequel, so this happens before we kind of really start the game. But you all are basically on your way to Greenest. Each one of you, because of his own reason, and we're talking about. It's currently the fall, so it's getting colder and colder, and most of the trees are without their leaves, and sometimes rain come in, and then the road is muddy. And travel has become somewhat dangerous recently. A lot of raiders, a lot of bandits. So you decided to join a very small caravan. There's a wine merchant named Strandor. And you've decided to join his caravan as he is traveling south from Burdusk to Greenest. By the way, in Roll20, there is only one page. It's basically the map of the Sword Coast, so sometimes we'll reference it. And I'll also keep the recaps of the last episode in that place, right? So you can go and read and kind of try to remember what's going on. So you decided to join him, and he will kind of pay you a little bit as guards. Basically, he unloaded some elven wine at Burdusk, and then he headed south with you. And one night, as you all kind of huddle around the fire, he has 4 carts, so they surround your small camp. He has 2 more hired guards that are with you right now. One of them, his name is Killen, and the other one is Delman. They're both kind of quiet, keep to themselves, not really talkative, persons. So you're at the fire, and Strandor is a big guy, pale complexion, looks almost like a barbarian from the north, like talks big with his hands moving everywhere, and his voice is kind of booming. And he always has a bottle of wine in his hand. So you're all around the fire. It kind of pours you all a dark, heavy wine. And imagine that the camera kind of pans and focus in each of you. So Ryan, the camera kind of points at you right now. What does your character look like?
Merlin is mostly like the other 2 guards, so trying to keep to the side, but after a while grew comfortable enough, joined the fire. He's definitely mostly out in the wild. He does take in the morning and the evening a bit of time to sharpen his axe, but mud-covered boots, half of the shield is crusted and you can't even see what's supposed to be on it. He had a short encounter with Alexandra at some point, then probably in Burdusk and not in Greenest. And he's nearby, protective of her. So yeah, sorry, I have my portrait, but longish hair, unkept beard as well. A fork, mostly noticeable by the ears, and build, slightly greenish skin. Anything else you would like to know? He's not gulping his wine, he's taking it slow. That's
Awesome. So Strandor kind of, waves at your ways. He pours you some wine, claps you on the shoulder. Take it slow, lad. And then the camera pans to Emmy's character.
So this is the guy that kind of sits farther away from the group right now, I think. He's just kind of so were you, right?
Yeah. It's
So I
okay.
guess with both of us, we're kind of far away from each other. I'm at the other end. And he's pretending to read one of his books, maybe his spell book or reading about something. But really, you met him on the road, and initially he you had to like he wanted to speed up so you didn't catch him, and then like it was kind of awkward. And then, but internally it's nice for him to have some company. He's been traveling alone for a while now. And you see he hasn't his wine is like gone already. And he's just pretending to read, but also listening to Strandor. And he looks, it's just a giant like explosion of white hair on his head. Just middle height, maybe a little bit rounder for an elf. If elves are typically like slender and tall. Wearing a blue robe, just like you see in the picture, and yeah, she's completely comfortable in the woods, sitting next to a tree.
Awesome. So Strandor kind of turns away with his bottle, kind of looking for people to pour them wine, and he looks at you. Too far. And then he walks away as the camera focuses on Karsten's character.
Yeah, so you see a creature, a person, a humanoid creature, and maybe you read it on the Discord channel already, the description. So you would say, well, it's obviously it's a human child. She's a girl, maybe around 10. But when you look at her closely, you realize, well, maybe she's not. Her hair, she has a big mane of curly hair that is, it looks like it's made from gold. Yeah, each hair like a hair of gold, like literally golden hair. That's the most striking feature of her. You immediately, when you look at her, it's like you think like, oh, that is really strange hair. And when you look closer, you realize, well, maybe she's, like I said, maybe she's human, maybe she's not. But she's got these big dark eyes, dark blue eyes. And when you look, she in really open face. She always has this, well, most of the time, wide grin with a lot of teeth in her mouth. And she looks very curious, and she has been bugging you during the travels with all kinds of questions that kids might ask you. And every time you talk to her, you get a little bit distracted in the first moment when you look at her, because her eyes, they're not normal eyes. They're eyes like the irises. They look like you would look in the night sky and see the Milky Way. And it's a really strange moment when you look at her, but she doesn't seem to be bothered by this little irritation that happens to her when she interacts. And she is she otherwise than that, she seems like a curious kid. And she wears a cargo pants, camouflage cargo pants, worn combat boots, an oversized sweatshirt, and she doesn't seem to have much stuff, just her bag. And when if you have traveled with her a few days already, then you know that in her bag she has a big book, which seems like, you can't really tell, but you see her reading it sometimes in the evening when before you go to sleep. You see her reading her book to her doll, which she also has in her bag, and it is a knight. It's basically a knight action figure. And at the moment, she sits there by the fire and has her knight in her arm, and she seems very happy about the warm fire.
What about the wine?
Yeah, Strandor kind of approaches her Better start young. And he pours some
Yeah,
wine.
well, she drinks.
He kind of
Not
raises.
excessively, but like she drinks it like she's, well, it's not unusual for her. Put it this way. Nice stuff. He says, thanks.
He salutes, happy about her taking his wine, and the camera pans to Morton's character.
Hedrick is a half-elf, had long blonde hair, blue eyes. Looks like the picture I uploaded, just with actually human hands and not AI-generated hands. Oh, those are bad. Anyways, he does not fit in on the road. He has been complaining it's cold, it's chilly, he does not have travel clothes. He has his fine clothes. He's wearing leather armor also, which he also sometimes complains about. Because like now his coat doesn't really fit over it and it's uncomfortable and it's not colorful as his other clothes. He doesn't have a bedroll. He doesn't have a backpack. He has a nice chest that's on the wagon that he has all his gear in. But he also keeps the spirit up among the group, telling stories, singing songs, plays a viol, so sort of violin, not a lute as a common bard, and he is happy about the wine, really happy. So yeah, that average height, slim, young, around like 18 to 20. And he has been like friendly with the group, other than the complaining here and there. Mostly about like the weather and being out here, and why are we like stopping at like an inn or some farmhouse where we can stay?
So Strandor kind of pours you some wine, and he kind of echoes your thought. He turns around to all of you and says, you must be wondering, why did we stop so early for the night? Well, I have something to share with you, because I see that you all have this thirst for adventure, right? A yearning for some forgotten treasure. Hey, I have a proposition for you. And he pulls out this ancient map and he spreads it on the sand just next to the fire and kind of put 4 rocks to keep it straight and invites you all in to huddle around it. So before we'll continue with that, one of you is typing and it's like machine gun in my earphone, Doctor.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. So you can either mute yourself while you do that or type in quietly. So he kind of greets you to look at the map, and he takes a sip in a dramatic way, like, giving some silent, allowing you to savor this ancient map. It's kind of wrinkled and stained, and he looks at it and looks at you and says, I got it at Bare Dusk. One of my friends gave it to me for some pay. There is a dwarven outpost rumored to be lost, not far from here. There was an earthquake recently, and I believe that maybe if we'll look hard enough, we'll find the entrance to this outpost. And you know why I'm interested in finding this small place? Well, the rumor says that those dwarves who were in this outpost were avid drinkers of night ale. This is a beverage so strong it could wake the dead. It's dark, it's misty, it's like fire in your mouth, and I believe that there might be some barrels still hidden there in that ruin. Think about it. This is a treasure trove of aged perfection, untouched by time. The very thought sends shivers down my spine. But it might be a little bit dangerous. They told me that there are goblins nearby and raiders nearby, but I think that with all of you, we'll probably be able to handle that. And yes, there are rumors of some ancient evil protecting those dwarven secrets, but come on, this is probably some, stories told by old women around fires, and we're not old women around fires, right? What do you think? Can we brave this and bring some, money to add our pouches and some taste like that ancient night owl? Think about the money and the taste and the perfection of this treasure. What do you say? It's just a short detour.
Sounds great. But where on the map are we? Can you show me?
Oh, yes, of course. And he kind of, points at one place just in the middle between Burdusk and Greenest. So,
We split the winnings equally between all of us, right?
of course, a barrel each. I'm sure we'll find at least 5 of them.
Caterick wasn't really convinced, especially at first when he said like you're all looking for adventures, and he was like looking around like who's standing behind me that he's pointing to. That's how it started. But like hearing about like drink, he's not an ale guy, but wine. He can trade the ale for wine, so he'll lift his cup and drinks a bit more of the wine and say, well, yeah, maybe like that big guy there, like pointing at Mulan. Like, I'm sure he can handle anything.
Thank you for your confidence. I don't care for ale. But if we protect the road from some goblins, that will be a good cause. So
Oh, definitely. A story to be told. So, I suggest you all go to sleep now, and we'll wake up a little bit early in the morning, do our small detour, and then head to explore that ruin. And he kind of collects the map and starts to kind of...
where is it on the map? How far is it?
Oh, it's a matter of a couple of hours riding. It's a slow ride with the carts and all, but it should be something like 2 to 3 hours after we wake up.
But is it in the direction of Greenest?
Awesome.
Yes.
Because that's where we need to go.
Exactly. It's a small detour.
Oh, perfect.
A small detour.
How long would you think it would take us to get there?
Oh, I believe it will take us something like 3 hours after we wake up. So the sooner we wake up, faster we get there.
Well, let's go now.
It's too dark now.
Maybe another cup just to help us sleep.
Of course. Everything to
Yes, please, yes.
So he gives her another round, and this is how he kind of convinced you to join his small detour crusade. And this is how the morning after you found yourself before that ruin. Obviously, he took you like across a couple of hills. The trail kind of meandered between a couple of hills, and then he did his detour, taking you a bit to the east, left the carts and both the guards guarding them, and you did like a 1 hour hike into the hills. It's early in the morning, it's still cold, the wind is kind of blowing everywhere, and soon after kind of climbing one hill, descending another, you got into this not a very big valley, which was obviously rattled by an earthquake. You can see trees kind of bent, and a lot of them are on the ground already dead. The rocks seem to have been, tumbling all around. And in the middle of this small valley, it seems like there is a cave-in. But the cave-in is made from like square stones, so not a natural formation. And he kind of points at that and looks at his map and says, "There." And you stand before this, forgotten entrance. It's a little bit obscured by moss-covered stone, and there is like shadows from the cliffs and the hills around you. The sun is not yet high in the sky, so everything is shadowed and cold. And the air is cold and thick with the scent of ancient secrets. And as Strandor kind of walks forward toward the entrance, he sings this delicate song about ancient kingdoms and ancient civilizations and long lost homelands, probably something from his own ancestors' song or something like that. You recognize a bit of northern accent to the words that he is singing. And as you stand around this entrance, you do realize that some of those square stones that are, you know, scattered everywhere are covered with dwarven runes. So you definitely found the right place. What do you do?
You mentioned that so the scattering and the wreckage of the trees, they
Let's
were
see.
does it look like something that happened a long time ago? Was it done by a giant creature?
Make a check for me.
Investigation?
Sounds good.
22.
Oh, amazing. So you kind of walk around and like examine the trees and the stones and the landscape. You believe that this whole area was, in fact, like was rattled by an earthquake. You don't recall a lot of mentions of earthquakes recently, but you do know that every once in a while people speak about the land moving this way or that way. Less in the cities, more in the vast expanse between cities, that those things happen the most.
So, help me out, please. So there is an entranceway or some kind of archway or cave or what is it?
So that's a good question. You believe that there was an archway, some sort of an upper, like above ground structure, but it probably collapsed during the earthquake. And now it is just, you know, the archway stones are scattered everywhere. But you do see, if you kind of take a short route and circle the area, you do see a staircase, dirty, crumbling, and covered with dirt and moss that leads deeper into the ground.
Okay. So Alexandra does just that. She walks around. She runs around. Let me have a quick look. And she runs around. And then she's like,
Stone.
she holds out her arm. It's like, oh, Hoot, there you are. And seemingly out of nowhere, an owl comes flying, landing on her arm. She's like, why didn't you check it out for me? And Hoot, Hoot, the owl takes off and she kind of freezes in place, and you can tell that her eyes roll backwards and the white of her eyes shines, and the owl flies down the stairway.
So
What does she see?
you see this magnificent bird lands on the girl's arm and then kind of flies into the darkness. And there is like a minute or so of silence in which Mal is concentrating. In the meantime, any one of you wants to do something?
Yeah, I'll approach the Dwarven runes. I understand Roman. That's one of the languages I've taken. So I'm going to go over there and see if I can like decipher anything about this place from those. Do I
Awesome.
need to make any roll or anything?
Make a history check for me.
Oh, good. I believe I have a +0 to that. So, well, it's a 10.
Okay, so you crouch between one of the stones and kind of clean it and trace it with your finger as you kind of try to remember anything with regards to this place. You believe that the runes, or some of them, spell a name. You believe the name is Dreadscar, but you're not sure. Most of it is cracked and crumbled. That name doesn't kind of steer anything in your memory. Mal.
I'll mention the name to the others and see if they know anything about it.
Okay.
If that sounds familiar to any of them.
4.
Nothing.
Never heard of it.
You slept during that lesson, that history lesson. Yeah.
Sounds like a good clan name. Don't know which.
Maybe. Mal, you kind of concentrate and you see a chamber that is flooded by water. The owl doesn't land, so he kind of circles a couple of times inside. It's not a big room, and what you can see inside as you go in, there's a big carving on the wall just in front of the opening, in the form of an anvil, which you know is the holy symbol of Moradin, the god of the dwarves. And to either side of the opening, on either side of the chamber's walls, there are two stone doors. Both of them are closed at the moment. What's interesting is that you see some marks on the wall, through the owl's eyes. You're not sure, but it looks like something chipped the stone in several places, and some of the stones are stained. But without like closely examining them, it will be hard to kind of understand from what.
So give me another round flying around and looking at the floor. What was it? Water or muddy or something?
Water. Definitely something kind of, maybe during the earthquake or something, or maybe rain. But the floor is covered by water. You're not sure how deep, by the way, but probably not, too deep.
Okay. Yeah, well, Mel snaps out of her trance, her eyes come back, and you just hear her say, "Thanks, Hoot." And then she says, "I've seen a chamber with a flooded floor and two doors on each side, and the Anvil of Moradin in the middle, and maybe there was some fighting, but I'm not sure. So I'm not going first."
I'll go first, but no one else living downstairs.
I didn't see anything. Maybe in the water.
Hope it's not a big snake.
Don't worry, I'll follow along and watch from the stairs. My
Yeah, me too, me too.
Like,
But I'll hide behind you.
like look at my shoes. I like point out. Look at those shoes. They are not made for walking around in water.
Can take them off.
Barefoot. Like, I need my
That's-
shoes.
Not for
It's
water,
probably-
you don't. Yeah, going down, X and shield ready. Or maybe even a javelin instead of the X.
Okay, so you see.
I go down with them though, behind them.
Okay. Ryan, do I pronounce the name of your character right? It's Merlin?
Merlin, yeah.
Merlin. Okay, so you see Merlin kind of, standing there just for a minute, debating between the axe and the spear, just taking the javelin, and kind of goes down step by step. You can hear the gravel kind of underneath your feet as you kind of descend slowly. With the rest of the gang kind of peering around you, and you can see them kind of obscuring the whatever tiny amount of sun or sunlight that comes in. They kind of block it, and you definitely see the water kind of just a plain field, the gravel that you kind of kick with your boots kind of land inside, making kind of
Ripples.
bubbling and pebbles. Yes, exactly. But you don't see anything out of the ordinary. You step into the water.
There's no way to come to the doors without stepping in the water.
That's a good question. Make a perception check for me.
And it's a 9.
A 9. Okay. So you kind of take a look inside. I assume, if I remember correctly, you have dark vision, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you managed to find 3 large stones, probably who fell from the archway that was probably the entrance before this whole place was shook by the earthquake. You see 3 big stones that are underwater. They're covered by water, but you can see their kind of shape beneath the dark water. Two of them are at your right side, so you think you will be able to kind of hop toward the right door. The third one is more to the middle of the chamber. You're not sure that you are able to kind of hop between that and the left door.
Right seems better. Let's check it out.
Okay.
How far in does he need to go to get to that door? Like from the stairway where we are?
Something like 15 feet.
Okay, so
Let's
that's about-
throw in some rocks.
I did already.
I want to throw in some too.
You may.
Mel picks up a few rocks and throws them. I can go. I can throw further.
I'm sure you can.
You want to jump to the
Across.
across. Okay.
Yes.
Make an acrobatics check for me as you kind of try to hop between the two sunken. Can you what?
Can I do athletics instead?
Yeah. You can. You kind of stand on the stairs and you make a strong jump, landing with your 2 feet. 12. So you land with both feet on one of on the first stone. You kind of, a ton of water kind of spray all around, and you kind of try to regain your balance as the rock kind of sways beneath your feet. And then a moment of quiet. You believe that you hear something.
From
But
the door?
Mal is kind of shouting outside, and the guys are kind of huddled. What's going on? And it's kind of a bit loud, especially with all the echoes kind of coming into the chamber and bouncing against the walls. You can make another perception check, but maybe you want to ask your friends to be quiet.
8 a bit.
What? What was that?
8.
Oh, 8. Okay. So you guys are silent. You can see him try to listen for something, but maybe your imagination.
Let's go to the next stone.
Okay. Make another athletics check.
And a natural 1 for
Okay.
a total of 6.
So you make a jump, and maybe it was because of the angle of the water, maybe it's because it was deeper, but this one was not only covered with moss, but also you completely missed it. So you land with 2 feet on the surface on the water, expecting to feel a rock, but you didn't. So you kind of flailed, and then black, you find yourself underwater completely. All the water kind of suck in your clothes, your boots, your robe. And you see him simply vanish beneath the water. The problem is that he doesn't come up. I need you to make...
Well, not so fast, not so fast.
I need you
I
to
cast a
make...
mage hand.
Wait. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. Merlin.
10. Very
Okay.
average.
Something grabs you. As you fall, you don't think that the water are that deep. Something like 2 feet, maybe, or maybe a little even less. But you smacked into something, and you feel something clutching your feet and like the side of your chest. So you hear some noise, and what do you want to do before like the rest of the gang is doing anything?
Stab at what's holding my foot.
Okay, so you see a javelin kind of pops up from the surface of the water and then stabs the water. Make an attack roll.
Yes, it's 13.
13. Okay, good. You think that you have hit something. You feel the javelin cut through something, let's call it soft, and but with some resistance to it. Maybe you cracked a stone or you cracked wood or something like that. You're not really sure. The rest of you, I need you to make initiative rolls. Let me know, how did you do?
Uh, I
21.
totally did not roll a 1. So that's a 3 from me, modified.
Okay. Yeah, I need you to tell me your scores. I don't see anything, right? Remember?
Okay. Initiative
21 from Elias.
21.
11.
11 for, sorry, Merlin? Oh, for Mal.
Oh,
Sorry.
11 for Mal.
Okay.
17 for Merlin.
17 for Merlin. Okay. So, Eliathorn, this is how you pronounce your...
Yeah, Elias.
Eliath.
Elias Lorne.
Eliath.
Or Elias, either one.
Eliath. So, you saw the javelin go up, go down, and some bits of things kind of surfaced to the water, and then a stench, like an unbelievable stench, kind of spread through the chamber and out of the entrance. What do you want to do?
Elias is like, what? Oh, yeah, we're in a dungeon. And then he grabs his rope, and it's 50 feet of rope, and just throws it around and throws it to try to land right on top of him, and grabs onto the other end, and maybe holds the other end for somebody else behind him.
Okay. So the rope flies in. Make an attack roll, as if you're trying to actually hit Merlin.
Okay, so I'm gonna just do a sling attack. 21. Damn, I'm
Ooh.
rolling crazy.
Awesome. So as your hand with the spear is kind of, with the javelin is up, as you thrust it down, some loop grabs it and you feel a thug. But from where you are, like it looks like a rope, but you know, everything is dark and messy. You're not really sure. So the rope is latched to Merlin, which is amazing. Anything else you want to do?
The rope, Merlin, get the rope, the rope.
The rope, get the rope. Awesome. Merlin, that's actually your turn. What do you want to do?
Hold onto whatever grabbed the hand and pull myself out.
Okay, so you want to
Pull
use
someone in.
you
Yeah,
you want to
you're not gonna
use
pull a half orc out of
exactly.
there.
You want to kind of pull the rope to get yourself up, right? This is what you're trying to do.
Yes.
That's awesome. Make a strength check
Just want to kill him.
against Elias strength check.
Okay. +0.
I got a 5. I love my rolls.
No problem. I got a 2.
Okay, so you're kind of tugging each other, but then comes a really like, well, a more assertive thug from the half orc side, and you kind of whoa, and you try to not to land on the water. Like you have, if you want, you can try to jump on one of the stones, or otherwise you're in the water. What do you want to do, Elias?
Yeah, I try to immediately nails like foot on the stairs, grabbing any sort of stone I can.
Okay.
Just like a cat not wanting to get into the bath, you know, just like.
Okay, so make a dexterity check to see if you can like quickly grab something or someone.
16.
And we all
okay.
get pulled in.
So you manage to kind of brace yourself against, you know, a crevice in the stone and the wall, and then you and Merlin are in a stand down sort of way. But Merlin, you're still underwater, which is fine for now, but not for long, right? Mel, what do you want to do?
Well, did Eliathron, did you let go of the rope or do you still have it?
Oh, he still has
I'm
it.
holding onto the rope and also to perhaps some side of wall.
Okay. So Mal will cast a mage hand and try to help pull it. It's not much. And then she will hold on to you, so to make sure that you don't fall in the water.
Awesome. So you see Mal kind of running in,
Hold on!
grabbing
Sorry.
you, Eliath, and the spell then, and another hand kind of grabs the rope, I assume, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'll say that the next one who pulls the rope has an advantage on his check due to the mage's hand kind of holding it tight. Anything else you want to do, Mal?
Just cheer him on. You can do it. Let's do it. Let's pull him out. Hold
Amazing.
on, we're coming. I mean, you're coming back.
Kedrick, what do you want to do?
Yes. Rapier in hand. I say a quick prayer to Soon, the goddess of love, and step into the water.
Awesome.
Forward.
So you step forward, and immediately you find yourself next to Merlin's sunken body. It seems like, now that you look at the water, it seems like there are two bodies in there. The second body is short, dark. You can't see through the water really good because it's now muddy, etc. But it definitely latches on the Hellfork's body. What do you want to do? You just moved in there.
Yeah. Could Merlin hear me enough for me to give him an bardic inspiration? Or is that impossible when he's underwater?
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to give him bardic inspiration, but I guess I won't do that then.
You got into the water in your shoes. I'm inspired enough.
Well, yeah, if I could inspire him with my action, like just going up to him, give him a quick pat with my other hand while I stab at the creature in the water.
Okay.
If that's enough to give him bardic inspiration,
It is.
then I'll do.
It is.
Then you have a bardic inspiration, so you could add a d6 to any kind of ability roll.
Awesome.
Within the next 10 minutes.
So make an attack roll. See if you can...
Actually, I'll do 2 stabs. I have a dagger for my offhand.
Amazing.
So, oh god, I'm not even going to bother with that one. But the dagger is a 12 plus 4, I think it is. Yeah, 4. So, 16.
16 to hit? Yes, you definitely
and
fill
4
4.
point of, yeah.
Okay.
It's just a slight dagger stab.
So you plunge it into the water. Definitely, you hit something that squirms and moves. You want to go for the second attack?
That missed. That was like a 7.
Okay, so water everywhere. That makes sense. So definitely something is moving underwater. It was probably there undisturbed for maybe years. We are back to Eliath.
Eliath is gonna. He's gonna do his very best. I don't think he can. He can't grasp. Can't catch Mace Hand anymore, right? Because he's got 2 hands. Or could he? Could he cast Mage Hand?
I think you can. Sure. Just reminder, but if you want to pull the rope, that's amazing. And since you already have a Mage Hand there, it will be with advantage.
Okay, that would be because that would be 2 actions: pulling the rope and casting Mage Hand, I guess.
I think so, right. So yeah,
Okay.
you need to choose.
All right, no, I'm gonna pull. Inspired, not bardic inspiration exactly, but Mal is like, okay, heave, and he's just gonna do his best and gonna roll a strength check.
Yeah. When you do that, you also hear someone shouting heave, and you feel Strandor also holding the rope and kind of
Yes.
pulling with you.
Okay, that's an 8. Come on. 10.
A 10. Okay. Merlin,
advantage?
you wanna
Yeah.
make a strength check just to
Post
see
that.
that.
9.
A 9. Amazing. So Merlin, you kind of get a few bumps on the head from the stairs, but it's like, and you are to the chest, submerged, but up above that, you can take a deep sip of air, and there's a hand glove with a glove on it, and the stench is unbelievable. There's definitely something in the water next to you. You believe it's the corpse of a dwarf, but it still moves.
Oof.
So that was Eliath. Anything else, Eliath?
No, I think I'm just there's a vein popping in my like head right now from the strain.
So you kind of get clapped by Strandor. Nice work, lad. This was amazing. He's out. Merlam, what do you want to do?
Did not expect to see the hand there, so it was stabs the javelin in the
Okay.
water and mud next to him and just hit the hand and try to get up and away from it.
Okay. Do that.
And it's 19 to hit for
Yes.
4 bludgeoning.
Okay. So your hit kind of squishes the hand and it's all mushy. You see some dark liquid pours out from the chain that kind of holds the hand in place, and the hand kind of detaches from the body. It still latches to you, but it's not on the body yet. And you can push yourself a couple of stairs back if you want, or stand up or whatever.
Yes.
Okay. So you are up
One step up.
one step up. Awesome.
Wait! Don't leave me! Don't leave me!
Here. Thank you for coming over.
Mel, what do you want to do? You still have your mage hand on the rope.
Yes. Well, I will just let it pull. But do I see this arm on the body of
Yes.
Bone?
Yeah.
See? Okay. So if I can see it, I will attack it with a firebolt.
Okay.
Don't miss.
Hang on.
This is going to sting. Just hold tight.
Oh, it's a 23 to hit.
Oh, amazing.
And that will do, hang on, 8 damage, 8 fire damage.
Awesome. So the hand kind of evaporates in a popping sound. It kind of catches fire really fast, even though it was submerged for so long. Like, and then it explodes, and all of you who are on the staircase or in the room kind of get splattered with dark ichor. But the hand is gone. So that's amazing.
Ah! And Mel,
Thank you.
it's like she takes her finger to her mouth and it's like blows over her finger like she had just shot it with a gun.
Amazing.
Sure.
Kedrick, what do you want to do?
I'll stab at the creature in the water again.
Okay. Feet in the water and then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like as far away as I can be from it, so that's a 10 and a 6. So just backing up, like stabbing like that.
So the 10 goes in.
Good.
That's the 10 hit. Oh,
10 hits.
amazing. That's a D8. So I think +2. So 6 points of damage. Yeah, 6 points of damage.
Okay. So that last hit, what weapon were you using?
A rapier.
Rapier. Okay, so you kind of swoosh through the water, and then a head bobs up, stays afloat on the water, and the body kind of twitches a little bit, and then it's still. You can definitely see a helmed head of a dwarf.
That was not as planned.
You made it!
Kind of.
Can I pull out the helmet with the mage hand?
Yes, and as Merlin kind of cleans himself, as you clean yourself from the ichor, the hand that was attached to you kind of got blown away, but some fingers kind of still latch to you, and on one of the fingers there is a square ring. It's made of some sort of a silvery metal, and there's a tiny gem embedded on it. You kind of ooh, and then ooh.
I will step up on one of the stones, so I'm almost out of the water, and use prestidigitation to clean myself from the ichor and the water. And after I have cleaned myself, I'll clean the ichor out of Mulam. I will help him with it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I'm going to be traveling with you. I prefer you not to smell like that thing.
Yeah, we all do. Okay.
Well, no more stone jumping for me, as I'm already wet. Getting the javelin and just wading through the water to the door and just stabbing every 2 steps, if just in case there's another body somewhere.
Okay. So you kind of stab your way to the right door and you find yourself standing in front of it. The mage hand slowly pulls the helmet out. And you do see kind of this bloated face of a dwarf, beard, no eyes that you can see. The flesh is all kind of torn. But you definitely saw this corpse move a couple of, seconds ago. Other than that, you don't see anything, special about it. The helm is floating in the air, held by the hand.
So I try to shake the head out so that it falls in the water. Ooh, ooh, ooh. With a mage hand.
So as you kind of shake the head out, it kind of falls, like pops out of the helmet and kind of falls in. You do see a dwarven rune on the back of the helm, and if you know, one of you can read Dwarvish, right?
Yeah, it
I
was.
can, but I'm looking away from what he's doing with the head. Like, ugh.
Okay.
That's
No,
disgusting.
the head is gone. Hey, Cedric, didn't you say you can read Dwarvish? Here, look. What I found.
Yes, I can. Let's look
No,
where.
it's just a helmet here.
Ugh. Well, don't get it that close to me. And I will approach it and look at it.
Well, it will approach you. It floats towards you. There's a
Yeah,
floating hand, and
yes. Just hold it there. I'll just hold it
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
No need to get it closer.
What's it say? What's it say?
You believe the rune is a clan name, and the clan name is Zornhelm.
I will tell that.
Awesome! It's a Zorn helm. So
Yes. Good.
Okay. Merlin, the door in front of you is made of stone. You definitely see two kind of slots in which you can put your hands in and probably turn a mechanism, and then you believe either push or pull the door. You don't see any hinges, but definitely this is a stone mechanism in built for dwarves, so you have to kind of crouch a little bit to kind of operate it.
Ready for me to open the door?
Wait, you might be trapped.
Nope.
I can take a
don't
look.
you think we should use the mage hand?
You need to.
I'm not sure the mage hand is good enough.
And-
I will again reluctantly step into the water and approach Merlam, so I'm closer to him.
Okay.
I cast
Looking
mage armor on
closely
myself.
in the water to make sure there are no other dead dwarfs in there.
Okay. What did you say, Eliath?
I cast mage armor as we open the probably trapped door.
Okay, so flash of light as you kind of Iron Man yourself.
Oh, cool.
So you two open the door. Okay.
Any concerns? No.
So
I
you
could take a
can
look before we open it. What do you think?
You may, if you want to come over.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, do it.
Happily
So you
Yes.
slush.
happily
The
wade
water-
into the water.
The water is fine. It's not ruining my shoe. I don't feel mud between my toes and dead dwarfs. Ugh.
So as you say that, you kind of see Strandor, and he you were just happening to kind of look back at him, and he's on the steps with one finger in the water, and then he's doing kind of like this, and as you kind of look at him, he's like, "Oh, this is not water. It's wine." And you raspberries.
Ugh.
Oak. That was not supposed to be there.
Interesting.
Some might say I have a
Oh.
problem with my wine, but not that big a problem that I'll
Sure.
drink this.
Don't
The
light
marinated
torches.
corpse.
So what? What was the roll? As
Hold
you
on,
kind
my
of
investigation roll is
examine the door.
Yep. By my calculations, I have a 13.
Okay. So you kind of look at it around, and you also like you didn't see anything strange about it. You couldn't find any trap that you can see, but you do see a lot of marks on the door. Looks like it was chipped, and there is one side of it that looks singed. You believe someone years ago maybe had cast a spell on it, something like a firebolt or something like that. There's also signs as if someone, hacked at it.
Okay. There's no blood or anything.
No, not here.
Well, some people tried getting in here, but it doesn't seem trapped.
Might just be locked.
All right. Then he jumps out of the water and immediately backs off, a good 15 feet.
Okay.
Oh,
There you go.
love the confidence.
I'll put, like I said, like 5 feet away from him, put his hand on his shoulder. I believe in you.
I have the rope
Like,
out ready.
I believe in you, big guy.
I'm crouched, so you can reach these more easily.
Okay, so 2 hands on the locks, and then you kind of twist them, and the stone grinds and grates. Obviously, it wasn't opened for years and years, but you can force it. You don't need to make any strength check. Kind of squeeze it hard, and then you hear like a metallic click, and some dust falls from the 2 swings, and the door, you believe, needs to be pushed.
And I push it.
And then some of the water kind of pours into the next room, and the door kind of moves, and then it locks in place. So you basically have this wall in front of you and 2 narrow openings to the both sides. It's dark inside.
I don't mind.
I know.
Do I see anything besides dark?
So you kind of peek into the room, and you see 2 interesting things. One, it's a large room, not a small one, and definitely some sort of a fight went inside. So the water kind of goes into the chamber and kind of starts to flood it, and the levels kind of, the level in the chamber you are in kind of goes down, and some water mixed with wine, mixed with dwarven brew, pours into the chamber. To like in front of you, all you can see are barrels of barrels and chests of chests. The wood is old, dusty, and as the all the fluids kind of touch it, you see some of the barrels kind of go up and float on top of the water, meaning probably that they're empty, but some are not. To the right of you, you see a gate, like with iron bars that kind of bar the way to the next room. And to the left of you, there are 2 double doors, also with the symbol of Moradin, that are currently closed. So aside from a lot of chests and barrels, some shelves, do you believe maybe this was a storage room?
But no bodies.
Not in this room.
But it's safe. Probably.
You can hear Strandor from the stairs. Do you see any barrels? Wine? Is there any wine there?
Barrels, yes.
Oh! And he kind of pushes everyone and kind of rushes into the where? And then, oh! And you kind of hear him. His voice is kind of lost in the echoes as he rushes to the barrels, leaving all of you in the chamber.
I'll step into the room also.
Okay.
On the storage, no goblins. Not more you want?
There was a side of the wall where there was bars,
Yes.
like metal bars.
Yeah, so as you kind of take a look over there, besides the bars, there are two steps up, so the water don't, go into that room. But you can see through the bars as you move in closer. It seems like there's definitely a something that looks like maybe another opening or another entryway to maybe a deeper side of the cavern, but everything is kind of collapsed. So a lot of rubble. There is the body of a dwarf there. He lies on, like with his back to one of the walls, still in full plate, including a helmet with a visor down, which is kind of weird. You can see him still holding his battle axe. And his left elbow, or right elbow, sorry, kind of rests on stone that is bulging from the wall. Maybe it's kind of the earthquake that rattled things around, but you find his way of, like its posture is a little bit odd. But you don't see a way to lift the bars from where you are standing.
I mean, I investigate around to see if there's a lever or something.
Okay, make a investigation check. Mal, Morlem, Kedrick, what do you want to do? As Strandor kind of, oh, this is empty. Ooh, this looks good. This looks good. Like, kind of fiddling with one of the barrels.
Seeing Eleator noticing the body, Merlin takes a moment and, now knowing what to expect, activates, so gathers and senses out, used from various things in the deep forests and elsewhere. He has a sense of unnatural things and tries to figure out if this is another something baiting.
So, as you kind of try to like concentrate for a moment and kind of try to kind of get in touch with your natural senses, you do feel anger locked in this room somehow, like deep, heated, like unwielding anger, and you like as soon as you kind of snap out of it, you kind of feel the same, but definitely something is out of place in this area.
Be careful. Something dangerous is here. I don't know exactly where. I'd rather if we didn't find out.
Elias, what was your investigation roll? A what?
A 7.
A 7. You try to kind of look around. Nope, can't see any mechanism to pull the bars up.
I'll come over to the bars also and look around and see the dwarf and then point at the weird stone that's the dwarf is leaning on with his arm. Like, could you maybe like push that to do something or pull it? Could it be like a big button?
How far is it away from us from the bars?
So something like, I would say 20 feet.
Oof. I didn't bring my 20-foot pole.
Like maybe Melisandre, your glowy pan thing.
Yes,
You're not
of course.
busy touching
Can I lend you a
walls
hand?
again.
Please.
So, yeah, well, she'll just, I don't know, what is it, lever? I'm going to pull it.
So it's basically kind of a loose stone that the dwarf's body is kind of leaning on in a weird way. You can try and pry it out or in. What do you want to do? Which way?
Do you really think this is smart to do? I'm up for it. Let's take some bets. What
That's a good
happens?
question. Wait. What does the rune say?
Which room?
The rune
Or the-
Zornhelm on my helmet. Here. Zornhelm.
It's the same rune.
Is it?
on the stone, isn't it?
You don't see any rune on the stone.
Oh, it just looks like a button. Or
It looks like a loose stone in the wall. Maybe push it in.
Shall I? Shall I not? This is such adventure. Okay, I push it in.
I'm not an
Yes.
adventurer. I'm just following you
Well,
guys.
you are now pushing it.
So you push it with your mage hand, and two things happen. One, the stone doesn't go all in. It's like, and then it's stuck with something, or something blocks it from going all the way in. But as soon as you do, the dwarf kind of falls to one side, and kind of a lot of noise of its body kind of goes in, and as it kind of falls, you can see a smear, probably an old, like, dried up blood or something like that. It was obviously kind of maybe skewed or something, with his back to the wall. So as he leans and falls, you can see a smear of blood, old and dry. And as soon as that happens, the whole room, the room's temperature drops by something like 15 degrees. Super cold, and you can feel hatred all across your body. Like the hairs on the back of your necks kind of rise, and you hear this, like something draws air, but you don't see anything. You kind of look around, but there's nothing in the room except the dwarf, the stone, the bars. What do you want to do?
There's clearly no ale here. Let's just go.
Wait,
Out
I'm
again.
not done. I need to catalog those. And you see Strandor with a small book, kind of scroll, and he kind of looks for marks on the barrels. Like, it's not gonna move anywhere. Just let me kind of
Take one and go out. I'll take another. Go over to him, ready to grab.
Okay.
As I
The
walk towards
merchant.
the exit of the room. Oh.
What? Sorry.
As I walk out towards the exit of the room, I see the other doors, right? The double doors on the side.
Yes.
How locked do they look?
Not large, dwarf size. Not like huge. These ones are
Well,
made.
I'm just like,
Yeah, these ones are made of wood.
okay. I'm just like, well, I mean, if we're gonna leave, might as well. I put my hand on the handle and open it and take a peek.
So you take a peek, and like very quickly, because you don't have like a ton of time, because all the people around you are kind of, you see a small room, a platform, a collapsed staircase that leads up, and next to it, two skeletons, dwarven ones, tethered, not armored or something like that. Two beds that have long crumbled, and the body of an elf. You see robes and something that looks like a staff, like a curled staff, that this elf is kind of lying on top of. And as soon as you see that, the temperature drops in 5 degrees more. Like, something in this room is hating you so much right now, and you just freeze there in the opening.
Okay, going, and then I immediately okay, I can't help it. I'm gonna cast Mage Hand and grab the staff, and then make my way out of here.
Okay. Anything anyone else wants to do? So Merlin kind of grabs a barrel. We
Or
have
Strander, if he's not ready to leave.
so he kind of understands that something is going on, and maybe hedge his bets, so he grabs one too. Mal, Cedric, what do you want to do?
I will pull out the battle axe from the dwarf with my mage hand.
Okay, so the dwarf kind of leaves the battle axe, and you kind of make it float towards you. Cedric?
I'll just go out into the hallway so I can keep an eye on the people in the room with the barrels, and our stupid wizard who is making everything worse, opening another door out in the hallway. I mean, our brilliant and brave wizard.
Look, you think it's magical? As I show the staff.
So as
If I have
you
it.
as you pull it, it kind of rises to the air, and then something in the robes move, and some transsucculent figure, cloud, kind of goes up from the body and forms into this transparent elven visage. His hair is kind of floating everywhere, and he looks so peaceful and beautiful. But then he looks at you and says, "My daughter, you slew my daughter." And then it kind of throws itself from the body toward you. And I need you all to make initiative rolls.
What?
God damn it. Another one for me. So 3 again.
3
No
for
problem.
Kedrick.
4.
20,
4 for Mal.
Yes.
22 for Area.
Eliath is 22.
And 16.
16 for Roland. Okay, let's see. Okay, so in this case, it will be Eliath who goes first.
All right. Elias will immediately shocking grasp this creature in front of him.
Okay, you scream the syllables of the spell. They echo across the chamber, and you wanna so you're touching it, right? This is how it works.
It is a melee attack
Okay,
if it's near me.
go ahead, roll.
That is a 19.
Okay, so you managed to kind of grab this uncorporeal creature, and your hand almost falls off because it's so cold, and like it's so cold that it's hot to the touch. But go ahead and roll damage.
3 lightning damage.
3 lightning damage. Okay. So
And
yeah, go ahead.
And then I run away from it. It can't take reactions, luckily, from this attack.
Okay. So you move away, and you can see that creature, like its face kind of twitches in pain, as if he forgot what pain feels like. But then his eyes kind of focus again, and he says, "My daughter." Merlin, what do you want to do? You are currently holding a barrel.
And
Strandor kind of puts a hand on your chest and, "Don't think about it, lad. You're not going to throw it."
Fine. How is it significantly heavier? So can I take it out through the door at a normal pace, or do I struggle?
It's heavy. It's kind of full with beverage, so it's kind of a,
I can throw it or drop it, but I start lugging it out.
Yeah, you can lug it out if you want.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And then as soon as I'm past the door, leave it there and prepare to close it once everyone's
Good
out.
good call, lad. I will. That's the spirit. That's how you do adventure. And he runs with you out to kind of put those 2 barrels in the stairway. So all of you see both of them kind of leave the room with the barrels. Good. Anything else you want to do? So you can cover kind of the distance, so you can go there and back if you want, and this will be your turn. Or you can.
So I would leave it outside the door, so I wouldn't go all the way back to the stairs, and then get ready to close the door once everyone else is out.
Got it. So you kind of hold the 2 kind of locking mechanism. Okay.
Run.
Out. Good. So at this point, the thing simply passes through Eliath. So you just kind of go through you. And by that, you are kind of assailed by this creature's hate loathing and pain. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Well, +1. Let's go. Oof, 5.
A 5. Okay. Yeah. Any questions? Something? I'm not sure. Okay. You take 5 necrotic damage just by him passing through you. You don't even believe he did that as an attack. It was just its presence. And he's moving toward Mal, who seems to be kind of flailing to like next to the other dwarf, and he kind of floats towards you, Mal, and says, "My daughter." And then he stops mid-sentence, looking at you, confused almost. You do have this beautiful hair, and definitely you're not a dwarf. You believe that maybe this creature is maybe confused. You are his daughter? You're not his daughter? What's going on here? And he kind of stops for a moment. Mal, what do you want to do?
What happened to your daughter? Can we help you somehow? She looks up at the, I don't know what it is, whatever ghostly thing that is.
The creature is drowned by hatred. Your simple question kind of stops it in place, and you see this confusion and anger on his face, and you feel that he is on the brink of exploding, but just the way you look and the way you addressed it are kind of put him out of balance. Make a I don't know, persuasion or something like that.
Yes. Hang on. Persuasion coming up. It's a 16 altogether.
Okay. So with a 16, he just stops and looks at you and says, "They killed you. They robbed you. You're mine, my daughter, my love." And he beckons to something, and you believe that he is somehow bound to this place. There's some unfinished business here. And he is on the brink of exploding, of doing something really bad. But you stopped it for just that moment. Anything else you want to try and do?
Yes, I will try to talk to it again. You seek revenge?
He looks confused, and then he puts out its hand, and you can see, like on this ghostly vice edge, a chain and a medallion kind of forms, and the medallion is kind of attached to its neck, and in his hand he holds a holy symbol of Corellon, the god of the elves, and he just says, "I seek," and he looks at this holy symbol.
Okay, can I make some kind of
Make an insight check.
Or something? Oh, well. That's just a 6, I'm afraid.
Okay, so you all, like everyone who is in the chamber and watches this exchange, you feel that this creature is looking for something. Something is binding him into this chamber. And you feel, much as Mal feels, that this is a moment thing. Like this creature will break and will snap. So you have, like, she earned you a round probably of something. Kedrick, what do you want to do?
Yes, plans. Mr. Elf, we can help you find your daughter's lost treasure. If you just wait there and just wait right there. Don't move. The dwarves, like, look around. The dwarves are all dead. You don't need to hurt anyone else.
I will kill you too. But he's
No, no.
currently floating. He's not doing anything. You still can do something. So,
Yes.
other than speaking, what do you want to do?
Could I try to persuade him to stand down, or like permanently stand down while we search the room, or search the
How?
rest of this?
How? What? That's fine. That's a good plan. What do you
Like,
want to do? How
yeah,
do you?
yeah, you're saying like we will help you. We will find your daughter's treasure that they robbed.
Make a persuasion check. Another one.
Yes. Come on, Bart. That's decent. That's well, I have a plus. That's 20.
Okay, so Mal stopped it in its track, and you said, like, we'll search the room for you. The dwarves are dead, and he's like, I killed him. He's kind of in his sorrow, in his pain, so you believe he will stand down for this round. So you have 2 successes in calming this creature down for now, which is good.
Yes.
Eliath, what?
And then I say to the others like quick, find this elven thing.
Eliath, what do you want to do? Merlin is right after that.
Well, Elias, as he's like swinging his sling to throw, he's like, oh, okay, that was maybe a bad idea. He sees the symbol of Coralon on his hand, right?
Mhm.
Then he would ask him, was your daughter a worshiper of Coralon?
He nods toward you. A devout follower, pure, blessed she was.
I proceed to rack my brains to if I know anything about any temple or devout followers of Coralon or any of the pantheon from the elves being around,
Being what?
or
Sorry.
anything that I know about them.
Being
Or
what?
just being around here. Maybe there was an artifact, or maybe there were them, or maybe they were missions sent here.
Make a history check.
16.
You kind of scratch your head, and you know that in between Beardusk and Greenest and Baldur's Gate, which is to the west, those elves were walking around spreading their faith mostly in the wild. So it's not unusual for them to kind of be around, but it's weird to see a father and daughter. They usually didn't go out as a family, so something is kind of off here in that sense. So you believe they were not traveling together, but other than that, it's kind of that's the only thing that you can think of.
Okay, then I ask it. We have just one round, right? I think. Then I think, in fact, yeah. Here's what he's gonna do as he begins to search. Maybe this would be a free action, but he begins to sing, because he grew up with the elves, a prayer to Coloron or the pantheon that he listened to as a child, just to
Awesome.
maybe keep this guy distracted
Make
as
a
I look around.
make a performance check as you kind of search around. So you can focus on this rhyme or this prayer, which is a good idea. So you make a performance check to see kind of if you manage to kind of keep him there for a little while longer.
16.
Okay, 3 successes so far. So he starts to sing with you, but his singing becomes more and more agitated, more and more angry. So you kind of say, the rhyme, and he repeats it, but there's echoes and there's repeats on his singing, as if more ghosts and more voices from beyond kind of repeat that. There is a growing sense of anger and hatred in this room. Muram, what do you want to do?
Take a moment, trying to put aside all the hatred and anger, and trying to see if somewhere in the room or the next room there's a trace of something calm, so the opposite of it. If the holy symbol is here, it might
In which room?
The one that we're standing, plus the one that we got the doors open to. So it's in 60-foot radius, unless it's behind total cover.
Okay. Are you activating some sort
Yes,
of an
activating,
ability?
yeah, Divine Sense. Yes.
Oh, makes good. So you kind of concentrate, and there is definitely a trace of divine energy in the room behind the bars. The room that where the tunnel has collapsed and the dwarf was kind of leaning on the wall. Something there is kind of you kind of get a sense, but it's faint.
Help me open this. You get over and ready to lift the gate next round.
Okay, so you kind of try to grab the bar and ask for help. The creature is looking at you, and you can feel his demeanor kind of grows darker and darker, but he stands still for now. So next is Mal, and you can see Merlin is kind of grabbing the gate, saying, "Help me open this."
Yeah, well, sure. Hang on, I will help you. And she jumps to his side and just tries her best.
Okay, you two make a strength check. Try and lift the bars.
Sure, my best check of all.
Do you have Bardic Inspiration?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
So
Bardic Inspiration.
got a 15 plus Bardic Inspiration or another 1. So 16.
But
Mel, the superhero, rolled a 19 minus 1. It's still 18. So she's like, wow, I'm Pippi Longstocking. No, who's Pippi Longstocking? It's one of the heroes of the Tales of My Aunts.
so Mal is like you kind of slip a while, but you kind of get your shoulders and legs kind of working really hard, and Mal turns out to be much stronger than she appears, and the bars kind of grate and protests, but then they kind of lift a little bit, just enough for someone to kind of crawl inside.
Yes, I can roll under.
Yes, you can. So you roll under, and you find yourself in that room. Cedric, what do you want to do?
Well, I don't really know for sure that they know where that the trinket is. So I'll again just like as a free action just speak to him again like, don't worry, we are really good at this. We'll find it. There's no need to get angry or do anything rash. Don't worry, we got it. Like just total confidence. Don't worry, we do this all the time. We're professionals.
Make a deception check.
What? Hey, that's not deception. Come on. Oh no. Oh no. Well, a natural 1 doesn't matter on ability checks, so it's not a failure. It's just a. I think I have a plus
That's not a success.
5. So that's a 6.
The creature's skin, white as it was, turns purple. Lie.
I'll go check that room. Don't worry, I'll check that room.
Dwarven lies. You lie. And he kind of builds himself towards this anger. You can see like tiny lightnings circle the ectoplasm that kind of surrounds it. But luckily, it's still not its turn. It is Elias.
I'll run out into the hallway and open one of the other doors if I can, to try like to go search for the Sylvan trinket.
Yeah, you run. Where?
Yes.
Run where? Run to just the other room or?
Yeah, out of the hallway to one of the other 2 doors there. Just the closest one there. Like,
Got it.
Away.
Okay, away. Eliath, what do you want to do? So Mal and Merlin hold the grate. There's a tiny. So Mal actually rolled over into the room. There's a tiny space there. The creature seems to be snapping any moment. Sorry, Cedric is out. Strander is out. What do you want to do?
Mal, you went through the gate, and there's a small hole through the rocks to the other room, or there's just a small hole underneath the gate to pass through.
I went under the gate, under the thing, to the other side.
Okay,
She rolled.
think-
Yeah, I'm over here. I'm over here.
quickly. And then I look at the Spectre and I say, I switch tactic now. Instead of singing with my horrible charisma, he's gonna explain to him, listen, remember from the scripture from Coloron, and he's gonna try to tell him some sort of tale about somebody that lost a daughter, and that anything related to this, to tell him, listen, let's go into this other room where your body is, and let's keep exploring with me, just to get him to calm down from anything that I know from religion.
Make a religion check. Or you try to do something else. Let me know.
As I'm doing that, as I'm telling him, I'm walking towards the double doors where I saw his body right at the edge of the door, I'm guessing. Do I see him wearing a necklace, perhaps? Or anything like this?
Yes, you do. But the creature doesn't, like, he turns back slowly and then says something. In the past, they took her. They killed her. They will pay. And he seems to be even more agitated as you kind of mention, like, his body or that room. But you may still try to roll either persuasion or something like that to kind of see if you can make him turn away.
Well, the religion check was 16.
Okay.
To come up with a story, at least.
Okay. So he kind of turns, but seems like he still remembered the lies that he was told just a little while ago. And then he snaps back and says, "Trap! This is a trap!" And he doesn't seem to be cooperating with you, at least not the way you wanted. Merlin? That's another failure, by the way. Second failure.
Holding the gate and trying to navigate Mel to wherever I feel is the most likely location.
So you believe there is something in that stone that was pulled in. There's something feels pure there, but it's very faint. And Mel, you kind of directs you toward the bulging stone that you pushed. You can use his turn to kind of do something there, whatever you want to do.
Okay, I'll try an investigation check. What am I looking for here? What am I looking for? Give me some clue.
Something holy, maybe the amulet. Look behind the stone that you pushed.
So if he helps me, do I get advantage on the check?
You can first, yes. But the stone you just pulled with your mage hand is as easily pulled, so you can simply do that.
Well, so do I get an advantage? That would be badly needed now.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, great. So let me roll again. It can't get much worse. Investigation coming right up. Oh yeah, that's better. 14.
Okay, so you look at the stone, and you definitely see some marks on it, and you see like two tiny rings. It seemed like the dwarves have built some sort of a mechanism to be able to kind of pull a stone, and behind it you can see a small hidden place, as if a place to kind of stuff, treasure or something like that. So obviously this was his hiding place. And as you pull the stone, you can see a gold-plated amulet, a holy symbol of Corellon. And this one is kind of straddled with bits of silver and the sparkle dust of diamonds that kind of decorates the outline of it. It looks very expensive, but definitely this is the thing that Merlin was referring to.
Okay, so did I do this on Merlin's turn?
No, that's fine. You used his turn. It's fine.
Okay. So it's my turn now?
That's yes.
Wonderful. So I pull it out and shout, I found her! Here!
The creature looks at it and then floats towards you, and
I hold it out to the creature.
he touches the amulet, and then he looks at you, about to touch you, and then he stops for a second, and then he says, "My Marley," and then he disappears.
Good job.
Oh my god.
I think I have some of that wine now, please.
Coraline.
So
I
yeah, go ahead.
No, I just I got out of the water and lay down. 2 hit points.
I will stop searching the other room when I hear I found it, and then I'll come back and like, oh right, don't worry, music can soothe, and I'll sing a little song and cast Cure Wounds and heal you
Awesome.
for 9 hit points. You know, wait,
Wow.
10 hit points. Like just a simple little melody to soothe the soul.
You just do one little twang and that already heals me. I'm in tip top shape now.
Perfect.
So
That was the max momentum roll. So many ones.
fast forward a night, and you're all again around the fire, with Strandor fondling 2 barrels of night ale, and making notes in his notebook. And you all kind of talk about your experience in the dwarven outpost and that harrowing tale of a young elven maid who seems to have lost her way and probably found her death in the forest where the dwarves found her, and her father who went to search for her and was so enraged by the dwarves looting her body, that he became binded to this area. His hate, this was the thing that kind of attached him to the place, and the way that you freed him. And as you kind of wrap for the night, Strandor screams, "I got it!" And he squeezes 4 cups of night ale and pours it all for you to enjoy. And indeed, it's a strong enough beverage to wake the dead. And this is how you all kind of found yourself on the way toward Greenest. So this was the prequel to the campaign. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, and that's that for today.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Good. So this surprisingly have earned you the 2nd level. So
Already?
Really?
already, yes.
Nice.
Whoa.
So you will continue in your 2nd level. So make the adjustments until the next meeting, and that's it. I am assuming that you have explored more the dwarven outpost, so I'll send you a list of what you found there. But if you have any questions,
Just thinking of that plate armor, so yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very
It's a
much.
bit small, but
Like half orc in a dwarven
I can
plate
wear
of
it.
armor.
exactly.
I don't think so. I'm so excited to not have 7 hit points anymore. My God.
Yeah.
Wizard.
Yeah, no kidding. Me too.
do we roll, take average? How do we
Average.
roll points?
Everything is as simple as possible to make all our life easier. Okay, so are we good for next week?
Yes.
Yes.
I am.
Next week is fine. Yeah.
Awesome.
But
So
after
So-
that,
Can we reconfirm the time? What you are on Israel time, I suppose.
yeah,
So and the rest of us is on Central European.
Yeah.
yeah, for me it's 11 p.m. now.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
And so
and
we
10
start. So next Sunday we start the same time
The same time.
again. So you're 9 o'clock, our 8 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Good. So thank you everyone. Really enjoyed it. Really happy to meet you all. Happy for this
Likewise,
campaign to
thanks.
start, and it should be fun.
And one thing I forgot to mention about my character earlier is
Ooh.
the first time he introduced himself as the Lord Cedric, or Cadric, sorry.
Oh.
Cadric.
Oh.
Wow.
And he does has a ring with like a noble signature one. And if you ask about it, he says he's a lord from Waterdeep.
Ooh, that changes everything.
Oh wow!
I didn't
Now
know that.
looks pretty impressed.
And he also has
Right.
changed into it as we end. He has changed into his another set of fine clothes, of course, because the other
Wow.
is dirty.
Are
Like,
you
even
a
though he's
prince?
magically cleaned it, it's still dirty.
Are you a prince, Cedric?
What? No.
Because when I grow up, I want to be a fairy princess.
Good luck with that. I can tell you some stories about how those end.
Oh yeah. Tell me a story about that. Next
Yes.
time.
Well, there once was a girl. Blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah. Guys, thank you very much. See you soon. Ping me
Good evening.
offline if you need anything, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you then.